My name's Tom Careless. I work at the Access Creative College as a games course leader.
My name's Beyonce Gao and I do music production level 3 in my second year.
I'm Dwayne. I'm a filmmaker and a course leader at Access Creative Birmingham.
I'm Aman. I'm a student at Access and I'm studying film, video and photography level 3.
So I'm very much into photography and filmmaking. There is quite a few photographers on Instagram that I follow that are black African Americans. They produce some amazing photography that has really inspired me. As well as that, there's a lot of filmmakers out there like Barry Jenkins. His filmmaking style and writing has really influenced me when I've been, writing scripts and directing films.
I'd say the people that have influenced me are Beyonce, Rihanna. I also listen to K-pop as well, so some K-pop bands have really influenced who I am now.
There's been so many people that influenced me. I think it started with like musical artists like Luther Vandross, and that was really like the sound of my childhood was Luther Vandross. But as I got older, I looked more into people like Malcolm X is a huge inspiration to me. And
unknowingly, probably my whole life, growing up, just being influenced by different cultures, I suppose. When I kind of first knowingly got exposed to black culture was when I was about 15, 16 when I started college. Started listening to quite a lot of different kind of music. One of the main ones was rap music. Obviously rap is a predominantly black kind of industry.
Well, my first experience of which opened a door into black culture was I was volunteering as a steward at Sheffield Dockfest, and I went to see a documentary called Finding Fella, and I went in and it was my first exposure to African music, and I'd never heard anything like it before. It was incredible.
I would say from very young, I grew up in Handsworth. My parents have lived in Handsworth their whole life, and Handsworth is stereotypically known as a huge Jamaican area. So I think I've been exposed to the black culture from a very young age, and like I said, Luther Vandross was someone huge inspiration to me and someone who I listened to when I was very young. So from an early age, I would say I've had black culture has influenced me.
I think black culture has helped me define who I am, because before, when I was younger, I was always told that black people weren't really good people, kind of thing. Like, every time I was like talking about black people in general, it's always negative. So I always thought that being black was a bad thing and that I wanted to be someone different. But then after that, I started learning more about the culture as I grew up and realised that there's more things than just the bad stuff. There's like good things that we should be more aware of and that should be taught as black girls as well. It made me feel, kind of upset, because obviously I'm black. I can't change who I am, so not being able to be in my own skin is kind of weird, because being told that black people is bad and I'm black is just like, well, should I not be black kind of thing. I can't really change anything about it. So yeah, it did make me feel a bit upset, but knowing what I know now, I understand why I was told those things, because that's what they were told when they were little as well, like my parents and stuff.
We live in a very diverse world. I think it's really important that we know about another culture, about other cultures, about different people who have different experiences and worldviews. And just to learn about another culture and the history of that culture as well is so important. It's like a never-ending story that gets more and more interesting.
I think it's really important to give recognition to those who don't normally get it or receive it. A lot of times, people unknowingly don't get the recognition they deserve for their past achievements and the achievements that they are making in today's society. So it's a good opportunity to celebrate people who wouldn't normally be celebrated.
It's important because there are many things that we don't know about ourselves because it doesn't get taught in education, or it doesn't get taught by our families. We should be seen as equal to everybody else. So obviously there's racism and stuff going on with the Black Lives Matter movement that happened. That was very empowering because a lot of black people, as I can assume, because it's we all matter basically. We all should be equal.
Definitely, starting off at quite a young age, learning about different cultures, not just black culture, but other cultures in general. It's really important to diversify yourself and learn from other people's experiences and past events, and kind of build up that kind of experience that you can then take into further life.
Because PSHE was introduced for alcohol, drugs. That should be a sort of workshop as well for black culture. So then we can talk about the history of black culture, the things that were invented, for example, the good things that happened, for example, the Olympic winners back in the day and stuff like that. Those things should be introduced to show young black children growing up that being black isn't a bad thing. We are just as important as everybody else. Absolutely, yes.
Education's where it starts. If young people who are at school, are very impressionable. If you tell them about one set of things, that's what they're going to know. But if you have a diversity in what you're telling them, they're going to be rounded and informed.
100%. I feel like education is such an important tool, and children are most impressionable when they're at that stage. So I think being exposed to that kind of culture and learning about those type of things will have a huge impact on children, and I think it's super important to be explored.
Yeah, I feel because I don't even realise it was okay when I was year 10, year 11. So I feel having that knowledge in primary school and having that knowledge from my family and stuff as well, because they didn't realise until now all the good stuff. So having that knowledge in primary school would have helped me realise sooner that it's okay and that I don't have to be afraid to be who I am, basically.